Hello little zookeepers, my name's Zoe and I'm a zookeeper. Welcome to my zoo. Today, Flora Fields has asked us to look after her snail, Colin.
Aardvarks and zebras, penguins and pigs, buffalo, beetles and geese. Come and join in with the animal crew at Zoe the Zookeeper Zoo. Hippos that splash, tigers that roar, Zoe's got something for you. So let's gather round and get set to explore at Zoe the Zookeeper Zoo.
Well, she's given me some instructions on how to look after him. Shall we have a look at them? So, first of all, we need to give him one leaf. I think he looks quite hungry. Maybe a couple more. There we go. Now he won't be hungry for a while. What's the next instruction? Okay, it says to give him a little drink of water. But I prefer tea. So I think, there you go, Colin. Oh, nice. Having a little tea party. And what does she say finally? She says, put him at room temperature. I might go and put him in the fridge. I don't want him to get too hot. Oh, actually, Colin doesn't look very well. Maybe I'll call Flora and just make sure I've done everything okay. Hi Flora, it's Zoe here. Yes, Colin's fine. I've just been looking at your instructions and looking after him, but I'm a bit bothered about him. He doesn't look very happy, even though I gave him lots of leaves. I know your instructions only said to give him one, but I just thought he might be hungry. Okay, I'll take the rest out. But don't worry, he seems to be enjoying his cup of tea. Oh, he can only have water? Sorry, I thought he might like a tea party. Don't worry though, he isn't too hot because I put him in the fridge. Okay, no need to shout. I'll take him out. Don't worry, it's all under control. I am a zookeeper. Okay, I'll talk to you later. Say hi to Winston for me. Bye. Oh no, little zookeepers. We've made a big mistake. We should have listened to the instructions that Flora gave us. In today's true Bible story, there were some people in a city called Thessalonica, and they didn't want to listen to what Paul was teaching them about God. But in a city called Berea, they did want to listen. Well, Paul told everyone that they needed to be friends with God. But because of sin, the naughty things we do, we can't. But that Jesus died to save us. But people in Thessalonica didn't want to hear that. Why don't you pause the video now and try to tell someone about Jesus just like Paul did? Well, how did it go? It didn't go very well for Paul. When he shared this news with people in Thessalonica, they heard it, but they didn't want to believe it. It's like how Flora gave me instructions for how to look after her snail, but I didn't listen to them. Now, the people in Thessalonica, they didn't just not want to listen to Paul, they got really angry with him and made him leave. But that didn't stop Paul. He went to another city called Berea, and there he told them the same great news about Jesus dying for them. Lots of people in that city heard it, and they became Christians. Now, after all these people became Christians, the people in the first city, Thessalonica, they heard about it, and they got really angry again. So they came to Berea, and guess what they did? They made him leave again. Well, when we hear the good news about Jesus, we should be like the Bereans, because they took time to look into and investigate the news about Jesus, and then they believed it. And when we tell our friends about Jesus, we should be bold to share with them, and we should also be patient for them to take the time to look into what Jesus says. Well, I forgot to go and get the snail out of the fridge, so I'd better go before Flora finds out. why don't you look at that story more with your grown-ups? Bye! Hello, I'm back. I just had a letter from one of our friends who's telling people who aren't Christians all about Jesus and how he died for them. They heard that we were looking at Paul in Thessalonica, and they wanted us to know what it's like for them as they do what Paul did. Let's see what they say. Hi Zoe and Christchurch Liverpool friends. Greetings from Africa. We don't have a zoo where I now live, but we have plenty of camels. I live in a country in Africa that reminds me a bit of Thessalonica. I have friends here who I tell about Jesus, but they aren't really that interested in hearing about him. Maybe you have some friends who are like that too. My friends here think that Jesus was just a prophet and not the Son of God. They don't believe that he really died on the cross for them to pay for their sins, and instead they think that they have to pay for their own sins. At the moment, my friends are fasting. This means for a whole month, from morning until evening, they don't eat any food or drink anything. They think that if they do this, God will be kind to them. But we know that God has already shown how kind he is by sending Jesus to die on the cross for you and for me. And all we have to do is trust and follow Jesus. And this is why I'm here. Because although my friends don't want to hear about Jesus, I love them and want to keep telling them this amazing news. Maybe you could pray for me and my friends here. You could ask God to help me keep telling my friends, even when they're ignoring the good news about Jesus. And could you ask God to change my friends' hearts so that they will know how much he loves them and that they will want to follow Jesus too and tell all their friends and family about him. Lots of love from your friends. Wasn't that a lovely letter from our friend? Why don't I pray for them and you can join in with a big amen at the end. So let's close our eyes and put our hands together. Dear God, thank you for our friend. Thank you that they are telling people who don't know you about how much you love them and that they don't need to pay for their own sins because you have already done that for us. Please help our friend to keep telling their friends about you, even when it's hard, and help them to want to follow you too. Thank you that you are in control even when it's hard for our friend. Amen. Now, it really is time for you to look at the story more with your grown-ups. And we would love if we could see your crafts. So when you've done them, your grown-ups can put them on social media with the hashtag #CCLStillTogether. And then all your friends can see what you've done and you can see theirs too. Right, I have to go now. I need to get back to Colin. He's quite a demanding pet. Bye!